So class 7, aura cleaning, room clearing, and banishing negative energy. I did get a few questions this week that we'll be looking at from some of our information from last week. We did have some homework assignments. I'm hoping that you did some of your homework assignments, going into your closet, checking out what colors you have, working with cutting cords from other people from our chakra class. And I'm going to be answering some questions. We will also be learning some wonderful techniques for polishing your aura, making it shiny and clean and clear, helping you to feel better and be more productive in your life, and to not take on other people's negative energy. Really important. And then we'll be having some homework assignments as well. One of the questions I got is, I've been practicing cutting cords to past relationships. Does that mean that I am no longer connected to any of them? Well, actually, no. When you do cord cutting, as we did in the meditation last time, you're actually cutting the negative energy. You're not completely severing any type of connection. If there was love there, love is the kind of connection that always remains no matter what. Thank goodness for that. Love always remains, and all of the negative energy that may have been either pulling you down psychically or interfering with you moving ahead in life, those types of energies will be disconnected and you will be free of them. How would I integrate my psychic awareness more into my daily life? For example, when I'm at work and I have to be very task-oriented and time-conscious rather than flowing and intuitive. How would I integrate my psychic awareness more into my daily life? I think the easiest way to do that is to remember to take a breath. When we breathe in, we tune into our bodies, and our bodies, just as I said, the artist uses their paints and brushes. We have our bodies. That's our psychic tool. And so when we can slow down enough to feel our body, even if it's just taking a breath while you're working, while you're talking on the phone with a client, while you're typing at the computer, if you just allow your breath to slow and come into tune with that, you will open up your psychic abilities. It's as though you connect on the inside while also doing your tasks on the outside. So it'll get easier and easier. It's sort of like when you're learning how to drive a car, you have to think about where the shifter is and the mirrors and the brake and everything, and then it becomes automatic. You will become automatically psychic the more that you use your psychic ability. So you have to trust that you are psychic, you have that ability, and you can tune in. What is the best way to explain to others my involvement in developing my psychic gifts? Well, some people are a little put off by the word psychic, so you could use intuitive. You could use maybe using your natural gift, your gift of instinct, your intuition, in a way that would be more understandable to them. Your gut feelings, that's often a way that we can describe using our intuition. And it's really about, again, listening to the voice on the inside, letting that become louder than everything else that's going on the outside, so that you're really being guided by your divine higher self. And explaining to people that there's a lot of realms that are here that are invisible that we can tap into. So sometimes it's just a matter of letting people have their own opinion and letting yourself have your own idea about what you're doing and how you're doing it, and not really care so much. Oh, and somebody just texted me before the class, so I'm going to open up that question as well and see what that is. Here we go. Hang on just a second. Here we go. Okay. So this is a mother, and her adult son has moved back home temporarily about a year ago, and she says, I love him very much, but he frequently emits negative energy. I'm hoping how to learn how to keep myself balanced and not have my emotions fluctuate with his moods. Well, this is one of the most important things that you can learn about taking care of your psychic space. It's as though we each have a bubble around ourselves, which we're going to be talking about today, our aura. And when we keep our aura and our own energy field clear, then we don't take on other people's issues, other people's energy, negativity. It's sort of like, if you don't want to be if you don't want to smell like smoke, you don't go in a smoky room. If you don't want to pick up negative energy, you have to keep that bubble of light around you so it will filter out any of the negative energy. Remember in some of the earlier classes, I taught you some techniques for psychic protection. One of them was the rose. You can always place a beautiful rose in front of your heart, and that absorbs all the negative energy that's around you. And then as soon as it feels full, you explode it into light, and then you put another nice, pure, clean rose there. That's a technique from the Berkeley Psychic Institute. This is the prayer of protection that I got from my teacher, Ann Cataldo, back in 1988. She wrote it, and it's really beautiful. This is Archangel Michael who's here with the prayer, and you will be able to go back. I will cue this up when you go back to review the slides. This will be queued up, so you can write it down if you like. And you can also you can use this in any of your psychic work. But when we work with prayer, we create sacred space, and we ask for protection. So it goes like this: Beloved Mother, Father God, Infinite Spirit, we come to you in love. We ask to be filled, surrounded, and protected by the light of the Holy Spirit. We ask to lift beyond earth into areas of absolute truth. We ask that that which is most needed by these souls be brought forth. We ask to be a clear channel for God's love, light, truth, healing, and blessing. Thank you. We stand believing. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, Infinite Spirit. So it would be good at this point, by class 7, each of you should be working with some kind of a prayer of protection, which has some of these elements in it, with light and love and higher energy and essence and protection. That would be a really good way to start any psychic work that you're doing. So aura is that luminous energy or light that surrounds all matter. Your auric field is your body's bodyguard for protection. It's an important factor in helping you keep your own psychic space and lets others keep their psychic space. I love this picture because you can see there's many different layers to the aura, and we're going to be talking about some of those layers as well. The aura acts as a protection system for the body. Auras are like an invisible shield around the physical body. Auras can filter out and transmute negativity, and they can change color with the emotions and help one to clear feelings. So the energy of auras is changing. There's a certain way that how your chakras, the state of your chakras, which we talked about last week, affects the colors in your aura, affects the radiance of your aura, affects the well-being that you feel. That comprises your aura. But then we have ways that when we're feeling something really intensely in the moment, that can show up in our aura as well. So you have sort of an ongoing aura, and then you have little energy spikes and colors and patterns in your aura as well. The reason we want to work with the aura is as psychics, we want to be really disconnected from other people in terms of not taking on their stuff, so that we can be of help to them, and so that we can tune into our own energy, so that we know the difference between our energy and their energy. Now, aura size can vary. There's some saints have auras. You sit in the room. I was in an auditorium once with this amazing being called Amma. She's known as the hugging saint, and her aura is so large you can feel it 30 feet away. You can actually feel that energy of love vibrating from her. Other people have very, very tiny auras. If you're in a space that, like if you think about prisoners where they're very confined and there's lots of energy, and they have to kind of pull their aura in very, very, very close to them so that they're not energetically picking up on all the different people around them. But the average aura is about 1 to 2 feet around the body. And then again, there's different levels at different depths as well. Nikola Tesla is an amazing individual, just way before his time. In 1891, he created the very first aura photograph. I have some friends here in Maui who do aura photographs. In this picture here, you can actually see some aura photographs. You can see the light and the energy around the head. Usually the head is the best area to actually see an aura. So it has developed since then, when he first developed it. And the important thing is, if you're going to get your aura taken by somebody, like at a health fair, or you find them online, how much experience do they have with actually interpreting the aura? Because colors can mean many, many different things. And it's not just about the colors. It's also where the colors are in relation to the aura. And remember, I said there's different levels as well. So you want to know really what their experience is. So some aura characteristics is auras can be muddy or bright or in between. Muddy auras are really, they actually look kind of brown and muddy, and oftentimes this is a sign of ill health, or it could be a sign that the person is really doing unhealthy things. They could be doing drugs or alcohol. They could be very negative, very disconnected from their soul. That's a real muddy aura. If it's very, very bright, usually that's an individual who does do meditation, who sort of somebody who can allow the flow of life to move through them, feel their energy flowing. We talked about that with the chakras, having the energy flow. And the energy of auras can be peaceful or volatile. Again, it's just energy. Auras are energy vibrating, and so they can vibrate in many, many, many different ways. And they can have lights, orbs, flashes, blotches, holes, or spikes. So for some of you, if you're very tactile, you may not actually visually see an aura, but you can feel it. So one of the homework assignments this week is to actually scan somebody else's aura with your hands. Remember that, how we rub our hands together and we activate the hand chakras, and scan somebody else's aura and feel if there feels as though there's spikes or there's holes or gaps. Sometimes it might feel like little energy blockages, but to begin just feeling the difference in auric fields. Now, a weak dim aura will leave you and usually feeling kind of fearful, unstable, and unhealthy. This is sort of an example of a dimmer kind of brownish aura. And a person who has an aura like this, usually they're either they could be near the end of their life and they're just in a very compromised state. And there's not much of their life force even left in the body, or they could just be in a really, really negative place. But a strong, vibrant aura, that brings you feelings of safety, well-being, and health. And here's some examples of some pretty shiny, bright auras and the way that they can look different. Children are often able to see auras really easily, and of course then they're told, don't pay attention to that, or it's kind of, not really encouraged, but children often have that natural ability to just see lights and colors around people. So here's some of the ways that we can weaken the aura and put holes in the aura. Negativity is one of the most ways for really putting clouds in your aura. The loss of the will to live, if you're one of those people that things are going really, really bad and you're just feeling like, what's it all for and why this is too hard, and you're very in a contracted state, your aura will reflect that. Your aura will decrease in energy and it will be depleted. Just like a flower who doesn't get water, when your aura doesn't have love in it, it wilts. It actually gets very, very dim. Of course, drugs, any kind of drugs, alcohol, puts holes and actual holes and clouds in the aura. And the thing about that is there's also a way that your intuition is cut off in terms of your natural guidance coming through, that those cut that off. Poor food choices depletes an aura's brightness. If you're not eating healthy food that's really good for your body, that's going to enliven your body's having to process toxins. It doesn't have the vitality to put into bringing you aliveness and brightness. And fear. The thing about fear is, I always like to think fear is forgetting everything's all right, F-E-A-R, forgetting everything's all right. And if you're in a state of fear, there's also a way that you contract your aura in, and it causes that density and a shielding. And then when there's a shielding, you're cut off from feeling your intuition as well. So we want to keep our aura shiny and bright. We'll be talking about how to do that. So car accidents. A few months ago, I got in a car accident, and it really knocked me. I got a concussion on my head, and it knocked my aura. I actually had to have somebody work on my physical body, helping me to come back fully in my body and have my aura intact. And that is a really good thing to do if you've had any kind of trauma, is to work with somebody who can actually kind of scan your aura and feel your aura and feel where maybe It almost felt like I had been hit from the side, and it almost felt like my aura had just moved over. I was still here, but my aura was over here. So I had to work at bringing that back in. And you can do that yourself, but sometimes, if you're in a little bit of trauma, it's good to have somebody else help you. And now, of course, I feel totally centered now, but it was a little off balancing for a bit. Lack of sleep or poor quality of sleep also depletes the aura. When you go to sleep, that's when you're connecting with what I call your soul body, your higher self. And that's also when your aura gets brightened. It's like a fuel up time for yourself. So sleep is very, very important. It doesn't mean that you have to get 10 hours of sleep a night, but it means that when you do go to sleep, you want to get the soundest sleep that you can get so that you replenish your aura. And here, this looks like Los Angeles if you've been there. It's a really busy, noisy city with lots of car fumes. And that can actually affect your aura as well, so where you are. But the good news is, even wherever you live, there are ways to clean your aura. So to strengthen your aura, you want to eat brightly colored foods and foods that are alive. This is one of the most important things you can do. Nowadays, they also have green drinks that you can drink, vital drinks, juices, and things like that, wheatgrass juice. You want to keep a compassionate and loving attitude towards life. Compassionate and loving, that opens the heart. Exercising daily helps to stimulate the body. It brings in oxygen, and it does help to brighten up your aura. It's a really, really wonderful thing to do. And of course, I say this every single class. The most important thing you can do is to meditate every day in some way. And we talked about a number of different meditations. Here I put visualizing light because the power of light is so powerful. We will be doing a guided meditation with light later on in our class today. Now, to heal your aura, and we all have had different things, just as a process of being in life where our auras may have some little blotches or little holes or little scrapes and things in them. But there are ways that you can work with bringing that balance back and that fullness back in your aura. Sort of like if you get really damaged hair, you can put conditioner on it and it helps it. You get it cut and it grows back, and you can repair your aura as well. So light is one of the best ways, working with energy and light, and that's just picturing the light around you. Beautiful, bright light, like from the sun. And picturing your aura. If you could just do that for a moment now. Just picture yourself in a bubble of light and say to yourself, nothing but light can come to me, and nothing but light can be here. And so it is. And feel that sacred bubble of light around you. This is your sacred space. Sound is also a wonderful way to clear the aura. And some of the sounds that I call them modulating sounds, they go up, that can actually help to clear energy out of the aura. So I'll give you an example of some kind of unusual sounds that you can use when you want to clear your aura. And you can actually use your hand at the same time and kind of go through the different chakras. You can start at the top and go to the third eye and the sixth, the heart, and all the way down, clearing, clearing, clearing. So here's a sound that helps to really clear the aura. It's a modulating. It starts lower and it goes higher. You can also do little short sounds like they're kind of unusual sounds, and you have to just let them come through you, but there's a way that these high frequency sounds break through and bust up. Sound is a very powerful frequency, and auras are energy, auras are light, auras are working with frequency. So when we shift the frequency, we can open up the aura and we can clear it. You can work with energy, with the aura. That's all different types of sending love into your aura, sending compassion, sending peace into your aura. You can work with visualization, picturing your aura super bright and shiny. And you can balance the chakras. When you balance the chakras like we worked on last week, that automatically helps to bring balance into your auric body as well. A lot of times when I mention the aura to people, they remember the aura in front of them, but they forget back here. They forget, oh, I have to bring the light back there. You want your aura to be built up all the way around yourself and under your feet as well. So when you're picturing your aura, you're in this bubble of light and it goes under your feet and behind you and in front of you as well. So remember all the different parts. And when you keep your body physically vital and alive, it helps your aura. It actually, they help each other. The aura helps the body helps the aura. So it kind of goes around. Some specific ways of clearing negative energy out of your auric field. This is one of my favorites. You see the picture of the spritz. I love this. This is a rose spritz, and you just spray it, and it automatically, I can feel that energy of moving into a different dimension. Rose is, of course, the energy of love, and you can use lavender. You could use it. They even make sage smell. Sage spritz if you can't be around the smoke of a smudge. And one of the ways that you do that is you can get a little sort of like this. You see this shell and a feather, and you can put the smudge in there, the sage stick, and then you just go like this, and you can clear your own aura. You can clear the aura, the space in a room as well. But really, my favorite, even though I live in Maui and I could jump in the ocean any day I want, that's not my favorite, although it is many people's favorite, and that's a wonderful way to clear your aura. My favorite is after I take a shower, at the end of my shower, I let it get gradually colder and colder and colder until the very end I get blasted with cold. And I blast the cold right on my crown chakra first. And I just picture my crown chakra just cleaning and clearing and opening. And then I blast it all the way down the front of my body, every single chakra. Just cold water. And then I turn around and I do the whole back of my chakras as well. And then I just let it run over me. And that cold water, it's very invigorating. And you can work up to it. You can start with hot and then gradually get colder, colder, colder until you can handle it. It feels so good, and I'm not kidding. You will notice the difference. You will absolutely notice the difference. If you feel that you've picked up somebody's negative energy, knowingly or unknowingly, throughout the day, and you just want to clear it, or you have an important appointment and you want to be really, really present, do that with your shower. End it with cold. It will help. And then bathing in Epsom salt is also very good. You can just put some Epsom salt in the bath and relax in the tub and envision any negative energy just going into the bath and going down the drain and being neutralized into light. I always love to neutralize negative energy into light. Now, being in nature helps to calm the auric disturbances as well. Some of you may not live near a big park, but you might have a little park that you could walk in, or you might even be able to walk down a city street, but look for the trees or look for the butterflies in between the cement. When we go in nature, it automatically calms us, and our auras will calm down as well. It's just a way to calm. You know how when a baby's crying, if you take the baby outside, all of a sudden the baby calms down? I don't know. It's just a magical thing. That's what happens. It's because the wind and the trees and the sun and just being outdoors is very, very calming. So that's also very good for your aura, to just get in the energy of nature, and that will calm your aura. We've mentioned the grounding cord before, but I'm going to mention it again for your aura. If you do feel that you have picked up any kind of negative energy from anywhere, use your grounding cord. And that's, remember, from the hip area. You want to picture right from your hip, just like these big roots going down, down, down to the center of the earth. I like to attach the roots to a big, huge crystal and then just flush any negative energy down. Use that grounding cord. You can also do that if you feel that your body is out of balance if you have a headache and you want to get rid of your headache, you can use that grounding cord and let the energy go down the grounding cord. And then from above, from that infinite love from above, bring that love into your body. So that way you're releasing down your grounding cord, and you're also filling with light from above. Music is a great way to strengthen your auric field. And you know, different music has different vibrations. On the top, we have a little harp there, and everybody knows the sound of a harp. It's very kind of ethereal and sort of upper chakra, or the sound of a rock and roll guitar that's much more dissonant and loud. That can actually put holes in your aura because, again, it's a frequency. Music is a frequency. It's a wavelength. And so these wavelengths can either heal and soften your aura and energize your aura, or interfere and tear up your aura. I remember at one point when I was raising 4 children, and they all listened to different kinds of music. I'm not kidding. All 4 of them. One liked country, one liked rock, one liked reggae, and one liked hip hop. And of course, I like sort of kirtan and peaceful meditation music. So what was my saving grace was headphones. If you're around somebody who's listening to music that you really don't resonate with, don't listen to it. Or if you live with somebody who has the television on and it really doesn't resonate with you, it is impacting your aura, believe it or not, and you need to take care of yourself. So you can get, you know, just some simple little headphones like these. Little headphones, or you can get the big fancy headphones that go over your ears. Now they make headphones that you can walk around with as well. And take care of yourself, take care of your aura, and put positive music on. You know, now with our cell phones, we can put music on our phones. We can, when I go to the gym, it's very, very loud there. I put on soft music, and it's very nice to be there. It doesn't bother me, the sounds. So you can do that as well. Take care of your aura. So we can understand and read auras. We can learn to interpret the characteristics of a person, the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects of that individual. And deficiencies or strengths will be detected. And just as in anything, the more we practice, the better we're going to get. So remember I said I want each of you to go home and sort of scan somebody else's aura and feel it. And if you can do that with a few people, just feel the difference in different people's energy bodies and start practicing. But we are going to learn some tools today for actually looking at auras. So to feel colors enables you to see colors. I'm going to show you some beautiful yellow flowers. There, look how bright. Are they beautiful? Look how yellow and vibrant. So can you feel the energy in that yellow flower? It's very vital. It's very alive. The frequency of yellow, it's sort of a happy vibration. It's a very bold vibration. It's an energizing vibration. If you have a test to take, yellow is a good color to wear because your mind will be very, very alert and bright. So each color has a feeling that goes with it. So we want to tune into colors in the aura. We first have to just learn to tune into colors in general. So one of the ways to do that is you can work with plants and crayons, fabrics, or objects of various colors. So you could take a bunch of crayons and color on a piece of paper one color, like you might do a beautiful violet and color it, and blue and all the different colors, and on a piece of paper, and then put them in a bag, and then pull out each paper and feel the energy of that color and really get so that you know what it feels like. You could do that also with fabrics if you have different colors of fabrics, and feel the energy of the color. It's really about feeling the message of the color, because each color does carry a different energy. So this is an exercise that I'd like you to practice, and this is where you draw a body, and you can draw it, you know, as simply as, whatever works for you, as simply as you can. And then you get some colored pencils. And when you're going to need to find a friend at some point to work with and say, I would just like to do this exercise where I feel the colors that are there. And we're going to do an exact exercise to learn how to read auras. But in the meantime, I want you to just ask your friend to stand about 4 feet away from you. Against a white wall is really best, because the white wall, it creates a background that makes it easier to see any colors. And then what you're going to do is you're going to work with colored pencils and just color in what you feel and what you see. And this is not a thinking exercise. Sometimes when you're coloring, you'll be coloring patterns or pictures, symbols. Sometimes words will come and whole messages will just begin to unfold as you're doing the colors. So sometimes auras can get enmeshed. So when you see this picture, these two beings, they have separate auras, but their auras are overlapping. Whenever I do readings for couples, I always ask them to sit a little bit apart so that their auras are not all mixed up together. So I can feel each person individually, and I can feel them as a couple as well. So there's a way that the auras can get tangled up, and you can end up feeling the other person's feelings. They can end up feeling your feelings, and then you're not really sure what you're feeling, so they get enmeshed. So you want to be able to keep a good, clear psychic space around you. This happens mostly, that aura enmeshment, with couples and with parents and their children. There's a way that there's sort of a permission given on a subconscious level that it's okay to share auric space. And so you want to just be really, really clear whose space you're sharing. And if they're adult children, you really want to let go. See how this aura is blended? You want to let go and let them have their own space and know that they have their own higher self that they're working with. They don't need your light, that you have your own light in your own life, and they have their own light in their own life. And then you would do some psychic cord cutting like we did last week with, looking at what chakra you feel the connection and releasing that connection as well. You want to really make sure you're giving yourself your own psychic space so you can feel who you are and what your intuition is telling you. So with auras, we're going to be looking at the color and the clarity of the auric field. So there's the overall shape of the aura, and then there's the consistency. Does it feel smooth or patchy? Does it spiky? A lot of times people, their auras don't go all the way down to their feet. They kind of end like at the knees or even at the ankles, but they don't go all the way down. So what is the shape, the overall shape of the aura? What does it feel like? Is it pear-shaped? Does it feel oval? Does it feel blotchy? What does it feel like? And then the consistency is, for the people that are very kinesthetic and they feel an aura, they'll actually feel, oh, hot, cold, where it comes in or where it goes out. And that's the spikes in the aura. And the color, again, we talked about color, but auras can have many different colors, and they can kind of be a blending of color, like green and yellow together. And that would mean something different than just green or just yellow. We're going to be talking about these colors and what they mean. Also, the location of the color in the body and the vibrancy of the color in the auric field. So this is general meanings of aura colors. If you see a very strong red, we're looking at passionate, stubborn, and vital. Yellow, curious, logical, and analytical. Orange is the healing, the physical, and creative. White is protection and love. Blue is kindness and communication. Green is mental healing and wisdom. And violet is intuition. And these are the main colors that people work with auras. You can see they're a little bit different than just the chakra colors because we have white in there and they're in a little bit different order. But if you could think about these qualities, and when you're looking at the colors and you're doing that exercise with either working with crayons, holding crayons, or coloring with the crayons and feeling the colors, feel some of these qualities and ask the colors what other qualities they have to share with you. So earlier on, I showed you a slide with an aura with many different layers around. And I think it's just good to note, and you don't have to remember this, but that there are different layers. The etheric layer is 1 to 2 inches from the body. That's very, very, very close. The emotional layer is what creates those rainbow patches changing color. Because, of course, our emotions are always changing, so these kind of change in the aura. The mental layer is 3 to 8 inches from the body. The astral layer is 10 to 12. The spiritual layer is 2 feet from the body. The causal layer is 2 to 3 feet, and the celestial layer is 3 to 5 feet from the body. So we're looking at all the different levels of the aura. And for some people, they'll just see the light around the head, and that's plenty. You don't have to be an expert at reading auras to get intuition about a person. So the red color, each color has kind of a positive and a negative aspect. So if you see a lot of red, it can mean that that person is very, very extroverted and grounded, determined, and courageous. I mean, those are wonderful, wonderful qualities. A lot of times people just think, oh, they're angry, violent, and, you know, they're resentful. But the truth is that it also has these positive qualities as well. So you want to, this is where you want to tune into your intuition. And if you're feeling the color red, you're feeling a vitality of the color red. What is that red saying? Is it in a negative sense or is it in a positive sense? Do they need to have more red? Do they need to have less red? So that you'll kind of tune into that. Orange is, again, vitality, bliss, sociability, sexuality, self-assurance, and it's your gut instinct. And then on the flip side, you're looking at orange's dependency, codependency, shock, trauma, self-indulgence, and addiction. So again, there's that sense of where is the color located and what does it feel like that goes with it. Yellow, that's my personal favorite color. That's the intelligence, the intellect, the clear thinking, happiness, individuality, personal power, and optimism. If there's too much yellow, you might have nervous anxiety, confusion, fear, greed, power, ego, difficulty with assimilation of mental, physical, and emotional parts of yourself. So again, a positive and a negative. And it's for you as the intuitive to feel, what does this yellow mean? What is the feeling that goes with the color? Green, well, you've heard green with envy, green with jealousy, right? So that's justice, openness, balance. Oh, I think that one's on the wrong side, sorry. Justice, openness, balance, integrity, truth, cooperation, and direction. And then on the flip side, you have prejudice, envy, over-generosity, and loss of direction. So again, there can be both sides to each color. Blue, think about the nice blue sea, the soft ocean, the blue sky, peacefulness, serenity, clear communication, and independence. And blue can represent father issues or problems with authority or loneliness. So if you see a lot of blue, it could again be clear communication or loneliness. Violet, idealism, dedication, transformation, self-sacrifice, service, spirituality, and healing. Violet. And then, if there's too much or not enough violet, you're looking at melancholy, depression, grief, and mourning, superiority, fanaticism, pessimism, and alienation. So again, it can go either way. It's really about how that color is balanced with the whole individual. Now, there's many other different auric colors, just like this flower has sort of yellow and red mixed together with some green in the back. Auras can have a mixture of all these other sort of shades and variations of color. A lot of saints are represented with sort of the gold halo around their head, or there may be turquoise, magenta, indigo, some of these other colors as well. So we're going to look at some exercises for actually reading auras that you can do for homework. Now, to see your own aura, you want to start with looking in a mirror. There's a little mirror. And it can be a small mirror like this, or it can be a large mirror. Hopefully it's not a mirror that you use too often. It's nice to kind of get a different mirror for this exercise. And you're going to stand or sit in front of the mirror about 1 foot away. So I'll put the mirror here. Can you see? All right, so about 1 foot away. And then you're going to call on your divine higher self to assist you. So I'm going to now call. I could do the prayer of protection, or I could call on my divine higher self, that part of me, that invisible part that loves me unconditionally, that wants to help me, that's here to serve my spiritual journey. So I'm going to call on that divine higher self part and say, I would like you to help me, to assist me in seeing my aura. So I'm going to put this down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually be staring into my third eye, softly gazing. This is a very quiet focus. It's sort of almost an unfocusing, like I'm looking here, but it's very, very soft. I'm not looking at, the eyelashes, the eyebrows. I'm just looking right in the third eye area, very, very soft. And then after I get that really soft gaze, I'm going to allow my gaze to go right above my head. And it's really kind of cool because when you do that, all of a sudden, don't think about it. Just shift your gaze really softly up above your head and you'll see light. And then when you see the light, just start looking for the colors. And you will see it. Just, you got to practice. It's a way of sort of developing your looking, of training your eyes to see energy in a different way. Okay? So that's what you're going to do. That's part of your homework. Get a little mirror, or you could do it, in the bathroom, or if you have a mirror somewhere that's available. And again, you want to start with 2 to 3 minutes to start. Don't overtax. If your eyes start watering, what that means is you're trying too hard. You're just trying too hard. Step back, close your eyes, relax, and start over. Okay? Here's another fun exercise. You can get a white piece of paper, just like this, and you're going to put your hand on the piece of paper, just like that, and you're going to let your gaze soften. So you're looking at, trying to get this so you can see, you're looking at the hand, and you're going to look around the fingertips. So it's easier if you put the paper down and you have good light, and you're just going to start looking around the fingertips. So you might start with first looking at the main, the main part of the hand, and then you're going to start looking at the fingertips and see the light that's emanating from your own hands. So I would like you to practice that. That's part of your homework as well. Is we're going to do, I'll jot that down, the hand aura and the head aura with the mirror. Okay. Now, to see an aura around another person, we kind of touched on this. I'm just going to go over this again. You want to be in a well-lit room. And by well-lit, it doesn't have to be super bright like a studio, but it has to have pretty good light. And there needs to be, again, the white wall around the other person. That just makes it easier. So if there's pictures or if there's distractions, you want to move that away. And you're going to stand about 4 feet across from the other person. And again, you're going to soften your gaze and look at the top of their head. First, look at their third eye, look at the top of their head, and then look around their head and look for patterns and colors to emerge. This is really fun, and I usually do this in my 10-week course, my in-person 10-week course. And we have a few different people get up and we look at different people's auras, and it's really fun. When you call in your guide into your auric space, your aura actually gets brighter and expands, and you can see it. And you could try that in front of the mirror. You could stand in front of the mirror, and you could just look regular, as your own higher self. And then you could say you want to invite in your channeling your psychic guide and see what happens with the energy of your aura. And really pay attention. Just tune into that really sensitive energy. So we're also talking today about psychic protection, and sometimes people say to me, well, why don't you teach it earlier on? And it's because I honestly believe that love is the most powerful force in the universe, and when we're operating from a place of unconditional love, we are fully protected, because love needs no protection. That's the third line. Pure unconditional love needs no protection. There's nothing to protect. There's a oneness. There's a sense of bliss and connection. So love is the most powerful force in the universe, and that's where we always want to start all of our psychic work from. And we want to keep a vibration of unconditional love active in the auric field. And I like to think of the color pink as unconditional love, maybe with a little bit of a hue of gold. And if you're not feeling unconditionally loving towards yourself or towards others, bring that color in. Bask in it. Ask your higher self to help you to see life through the eyes of love. Ask your higher self to bring in that vibration of unconditional love. We are going to learn some techniques as well, but just know that love is the most powerful force. This is the Banishing prayer, and I like to teach this prayer. I've been using this prayer probably at least, I don't know, close to 25 years as well. And if this prayer doesn't quite fit for you, that's okay. You can use your own banishing prayer. Some people have their own personal prayer. But it's really about when you're feeling that there's energy that's a little stronger than what you can personally handle, and you would like some assistance with that. So you're calling on your divine higher self. You're calling on your guides and angels. In the name that is above every other name, I banish from this space all seeds of sickness and evil. I cast them out of my aura and away, where they shall trouble not the seekers of truth, now and forevermore. So you notice when I said that prayer, I'm not asking, I'm not pleading, I'm commanding. The banishing prayer is a commanding prayer. You're saying, get out of my space. You're not welcome. Go towards the light. I release you from this space. I cast you out. And I like to even do it, the way that I do this banishing prayer is I start with my hand up above, and then I bring it down. So I'm clearing my whole aura. So my arm goes straight up in the name that is above every other name, and I'm envisioning the highest source of love, whatever that is, whatever you visualize that as. I banish, and then I bring my arm down really fast like this. Do you see that? It's like I'm slicing through any negativity, and I'm commanding my space, almost like with a sword, that feeling of, I banish from this space, and I can say my space or this space if it's around. And the way that I do that is I push my hands out like this. I sort of push, and I let my arms go straight out. I banish from this space all seeds of sickness and evil. And you can put in whatever words feel right to you, negativity or fear or whatever feels negative to you. I cast them out of my aura and away. So you're clearing your auric field. You're saying, I am not going to carry this energy. I am taking care of my space. I am worth it. I deserve to be in a bubble of love and light. And I am very strongly commanding this energy out, where it shall trouble not the seekers of truth. I'm claiming myself as a spiritual being. I'm claiming myself as an individual who's on their path toward the light, and that nothing's going to get in my way. No stumbling blocks, no negative energy, no fearful entities, no beings of lower vibration, that they are not welcome here. That I am the one, since I'm in the physical body, I get to command what energy comes into this auric field. And if I've let any negative energy in, it's my job to command it to leave. So I have to banish it. Which shall trouble not the seekers of truth, now and forevermore. And I like to include that element of now, in this moment. Let the past go. The past is gone. Let it go. Right now, in this moment, clear your space. Take responsibility for your space. You know, we all walk through many different arenas in life, and sometimes we're put in places like if you have to go to the DMV and you're waiting in a long, long line and everybody's getting really irritable and the energy is kind of building and you can feel it and you feel like, oh, I'm picking up stuff. You can do this inside your head. Like first, I'd like you to start with working with the banishing prayer and memorize a banishing prayer in the name that is above every other name. I banish from this space all seeds of sickness and evil. I cast them out of my aura and away, where they shall trouble not the seekers of truth, now and forever. Amen. Work with that. Work with a prayer and be able to do it. I like to do it 3 times. There's something about that power of 3 times. When you really do it 3 times and you're casting out negative energy, it just works. It's really powerful. Really, really powerful. So you deserve to have this clear and clean, shiny, bright aura filled with beautiful light. So it's okay to banish any negative energy. Oh, here's a reminder about the rose of protection. Remember, you put that rose in front of your heart. I usually put it, actually kind of like a couple inches in front of my heart. And then I ask it to absorb any negative energy. And then when it's full, just like when a sponge gets full, I explode it into light. And then I put another nice, beautiful rose there so it's ready. Then you're ready to go through your day. The power of prayer. This is a Hawaiian prayer called Ho'oponopono. And the Ho'oponopono prayer, in its simplicity, is, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. And again 3 times, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, and thank you. So you can read the Ho'opono prayer, Dear Creator, Father, Mother, Child as one. It's really hard for me to read without my glasses. I usually just do the other part instead of doing all of this. Oh, there we go. I invoke Ho'oponopono between myself and all creation. Ho'oponopono, the entire process, releasing all negative energy, negative vibrations to the path of pure white light, setting any and all negative vibrations free, and it is done. So that would be a really good prayer to memorize. I have the bottom memorized, but that would be a really good prayer to memorize. You can see here we have a little a picture of a Hawaiian shaman. We do many, many ceremonies in Hawaii about clearing energy, and sometimes we just need to do that with people from our past, that there's energy that's still connected, and we want to make it, in Hawaii we say we make it pono, make it right, we clear it. So if there's any energy with anybody that you feel, to clear it. I just noticed that there's a question here. I'm going to answer that question before we go on to this percentage. So the question is about, I can't really see the colors. I can feel them. And remember I said everybody with their psychic information learns in different ways. Some people are very auditory. I asked you to do that quiz from Doreen Virtue. Some people, they hear whole sentences. They hear whole paragraphs. They hear very clearly. That's their strength. The visual may not be their strength. If you're not somebody who remembers your dreams in color, you're probably not a real visual person, and it's probably going to be a little harder to see auras. Doesn't mean that you can't feel them. A lot of people who work in the healing arts that do energy work, they feel the auras, they feel the stories, they feel the energy, they feel the pain, they feel the fear, and they're not necessarily seeing colors, but they're feeling and sensing those auric energies. So remember, it's all about energy. As you practice, though, you will be able to see auras more and more and more. That's why I gave you some of those exercises of looking in the mirror and practicing, of looking at your friend and practicing. You can look around a tree and see the energy, the auric field around a tree. It's about beginning to say, I can do it. Every time you say, I can't do it, or you can even say, up until now, I haven't been able to see auras, but now I'm ready to see auras. I'm ready to claim and activate. If you can just envision that you have this other part of your brain that's ready to go. It's ready and waiting. It's designed to read auras. That's what it was made for. Then you say to your mind, I can do it. I can do it. And all of a sudden you can do it because you're feeling more positive about it. You're making that difference yourself. So just remind yourself that you can, that you are a limitless being. So what percentage of you is present in your body? I just want you to do this exercise with me now, because as a psychic, when you're working with other people, sometimes you're working with people and there's only like 30% of the person in their body, and you might feel their energy field in their aura, and it feels like it's so weak you can barely feel them. So I would like you to just close your eyes for a minute. And we're just going to tune in, and just like this big green percentage sign, I want you to tune in and ask your higher self, what percentage of yourself is present in your body right now? And just see what number comes. If it's less than 75, you definitely have work to do. Really, we should all be between 90 and 100% present in our bodies. Really wouldn't want to do any psychic work if I was less than 80% present in my body. It's really just about being present. So what I'd like you to do is call back ask your higher self to call back any parts of yourself that might still be in yesterday or tomorrow, or feeling pain in the body or having some emotional issue, and call that back right now. And just see that percentage go up to 100%. Feel the energy coming into your aura, reclaiming your auric space, reclaiming your presence. Sometimes when we're kids, we learn to get out of our bodies. If we're in a chaotic environment, or even if we're in a chaotic work environment, we sort of go up and out of our bodies instead of being present. And being psychic is about learning how to be present in your body no matter what. No matter what's going on around you, because you're rooted and grounded and you're protected, and it's okay and it's safe to be here. Sometimes another thing that happens is, I touched on this a little bit, is the auric field in the physical body, they get out of alignment, like when I had that car accident. So we want to get them so that they are together. The physical body is going this way and the auric field is going this way, instead of the physical body going forward and the auric field going like at a 45-degree angle the other way. That's when your energy is not all going in the same direction. And when your energy is not all going in the same direction, you can feel tired, lethargic, you can feel unhealthy, you can feel unbalanced. So we want to get all of our energy going in the same direction. So one of the best ways to align your auric field in your physical body is actually anything that focuses on your core center. So Pilates is one of those exercise things that really makes you go inside to your very center being. Dancing, of course, takes balance and rhythm, and that is a core exercise. Any type of dancing is excellent to get you back in alignment. Again, yoga is also another form, because you do a lot of balancing in yoga and getting into center. And horseback riding could be another way, because you're out in nature and you're balancing on the horse. You're balancing in center. So anything that focuses on your core is going to help to align your aura with your physical body. So I want to just invite you to choose one of these this week, either Pilates or dancing or yoga or horseback riding. I'm just going to write down your homework, dancing or horseback riding, to practice this week to align your physical aura. Psychic protection, you got to protect your own energy field, especially before doing any psychic work. A lot of times when people come to you for a session, a healing session or counseling session or a psychic session, they're in kind of a vulnerable place. They may be in a negative place. They may be in a contracted place or fearful or painful place. And you don't want to take on their energy. You want to feel what's going on with them, but you want it to stay their stuff, not your stuff. So one of the best ways of doing that is to start with a prayer, and to call on divine assistance from the angels, the angelic realm, to help, and to clear any negative emotions like depression or anger. If you're having any of those emotions, you want to clear that first before you would open up psychically to helping anyone else. So in the photograph here, you see this woman, and she's doing the smudging that we talked about. You see the smoke coming up, and I like to think of the smoke going up as prayers of clearing. So clearing rooms, that's really important. And a lot of psychics, that's all they do. They just do space clearing, house blessings, creating clear, sacred space and energy. And I asked each of you to set up a place in your home where you could actually meditate and channel and practice these exercises. So what is best to do is you cleanse your room with prayer, whatever prayer feels good for you. And then you can use, again, the spritz, just like I showed you with your own aura. You can spritz your room. You can use light, like a candle. It's very good. You can put candles in the room. You can smudge with the sage and clear the energy out. You can actually put salt water in a bottle. You can have water and put salt in it, and then you can shake it into the corners of the room. And you can even put it in a spritz and spray it in the corners of the room. If you're moving into a new house, I would definitely recommend doing a house clearing, and you could burn some incense. You can also, one of the things I forgot to put on here is musical instruments are great for clearing the space. You can drum, you can use rattles or tambourines or bells. Again, why? Because it's vibration. Remember, music is vibration. So when you bring music in, you're clearing the space. I had a friend who had a friend who had a friend who was basically dying, and they ended up committing suicide because they just couldn't tolerate the pain that they were in. And this friend of a friend asked me to come over and do a house clearing, and I did a clearing on the whole house and on the yard and the entire property. We put crystals in the corners of the property. We walked the property line. We did prayer. We cleared, and that place felt brand new. I mean, it was like the energy was just sparkling, squeaky clean, and that's what can happen when you take the responsibility for clearing. So I mentioned in that example of putting corners in the property and also seeing like lines of light from each corner and visualizing beams of light. I like to imagine big, huge fountains of light on each corner of the property, like beacons, holding the guard, holding that sacred guard, and creating a beautiful sacred space to do psychic work. So you can have light in your rooms, in the corners of your room, fill your whole room with light, fill your yard with light, and of course filling your body with light. Meditation, I'm always going to remind you to meditate all the time. Meditation helps brighten the auric field. Look at this aura. So beautiful. Look at all those colors. Now, you may not see auras like that right away, but if you keep working with it, you will, because that's how we're designed. We're designed to be able to do that. So we're going to do a little meditation now. I want you to get real comfy wherever you are. You need to get a sip of water. Okay. So I'd like you to just take a deep breath into your heart. See this picture here with the bright light in the heart center? That's what I want you to visualize in your own heart, this light. And you're sitting in this bubble of light just like this. And there's a shaft of light coming from above, right into the top of your head. Just feel that light. We're going to just sit in the vibration of the light for a minute. Beautiful white love light. Nothing but light can come to you, and nothing but light can be here. And so it is. Just like if you're hungry and you go to a restaurant where they have something you really, really like to eat and you know it's going to make you feel good, feel that sort of anticipation of, ooh, I'm going to meditate and it's going to make me feel really good. I'm getting nourished in my light body. My light body's getting fed. And kind of feel that delight. For me, I think of something I really like to eat is gelato, and how it makes me feel really happy and alive. And that's kind of what we're doing with this light meditation. So just allow yourself to rest in the light, feeling very, very, very bright. And the first light that I want you to focus on is a brilliant white light. And this brilliant white light is in your heart center, and it's radiating out. This is the light of your divine higher self. And I want you to make more room. So however bright it looks to you right now, I want you to increase the frequency of that light and make it even brighter and brighter and brighter. And let that white light just fill your whole chest area. And now feel yourself coming into harmony with the light of your higher self. Your higher self is vibrating at a frequency of peace and love, connection, presence, purity. Okay, now I want you to bring that white light all the way to the edge of your aura, all the way out, like about a foot out at least. And just feel that white light, that you're in a bubble of white light. And it feels so good to be taking care of your auric field and calling on your higher self to join you. And now I want you to visualize just outside the white light, a purple light or violet light. And now you're in a bubble, like another shell of light around the white light. And it's vibrating, very high frequency of purple. This is the energy of your guides. And they're gifting you with this bubble of purple light around you. And it feels very friendly and it feels very safe. And the energy of your guides feels like a shield of protection, a feeling of not being alone, a feeling of being connected to the divine. So just let that purple light, just feel it on top of your head and behind you and in front of you and on either side of you. Vibrating purple light. What does purple feel like? Think of everything purple. Purple chard and purple plums and purple crayons and purple flowers, purple. Just feel the purple. And feel your guides being so grateful to be there and be connected to you through your auric field, that you're actually welcoming them into this level of your auric field to offer their protection and their guidance and their help. And that feels really good. And now I want you to see a beautiful golden light right outside that purple bubble, which is on top of the white light. I want you to see a golden light and just let it get really, really gold and shimmery. Shimmery, shimmery gold light. This is the light of the ascended master teachers. These are the beings who lived on earth, who became enlightened and are now offering their help and their assistance, their gifts, their qualities of compassion, insight, wisdom, courage. So feel that gold, that as you bring that gold light in, you're actually tuning into their vibrational field. So it's as though you're opening a door to their energy. And feel their energy just coming forth into your auric field, welcoming you into this circle of ascended masters, that you've made it. There's nowhere that you need to go to feel worthy to be in this golden sphere, this golden auric field, glimmering with the same energy that the ascended masters carry in their hearts. Feel your own regalness, your own sovereignty, your own mastery. And feel how they are welcoming you into this circle of light, into their vibratory frequency of love. It's beyond all judgment. It's beyond all limitation. The energy where they exist. Just let yourself take that in. Pure golden light. Feel your cells awakening to the golden light, to knowing that they're connected. And now just beyond that golden light, there's a silver light, and it's very, very bright. And the silver light goes all the way behind you and underneath you, and it's again like a bubble around the golden light. And this is the silver light of the angelic realm, the archangels. This is the energy of the archangels, and the archangels are those beings who are here to help humanity, to lift it to a higher vibrational frequency. And feel that when that energy is in your auric field and it's activated, that there's this sense of calling on those divine qualities in yourself, where you are in vibrational frequency, in harmony with the archangels, free of time, free of space, here to serve. The archangels are very much about service on the planet, about bringing people's gifts, about protecting them so they can bring their gifts forth. Feel all of these energies in your auric field, just welcoming it. Thank you, archangels. And all you had to do was bring this frequency of that beautiful shimmering silver light in so that you could touch into their light. We call on Archangel Gabriel and Uriel and Raphael, all the archangels to just join us. And now just beyond that silver light, I want you to picture a green light. And this is a beautiful, beautiful green that is radiant. There's just an essence of aliveness in this green. And bring it all around you so that you're encased in this bubble of the green light. And that's the green light of the angelic realm. The angels of healing, the angels of wellness, the angels of peace, the angels of truth. So many angels. And all you had to do was bring that energy of green, healing, open love in. And you can feel their connection in your heart, the sense of that they've always been there. It's just a matter of you tuning into them, of feeling them. So let yourself feel the love of the angels. There's a wonderful musician, his name is Charlie Thweet, and he had some songs about angels. And one of them is, it goes, angels, angels, I've come to dance with you. Angels, angels, I've brought my good friends too. May we dance, dance, dance with you. May we dance, dance, dance. May we dance, dance, dance with you. And feel how when you connect to that angelic realm, all the angels are dancing around you and they're so excited that you're lifting above the earth and you're tuning into their vibratory frequency, that there is a sense of connection. And Charlie's also got a song, Angel on My Shoulder. And it's a beautiful song about feeling your angel sitting right on your shoulder. So with this green light, just feel your main guardian angel just sitting right there on your shoulder with you, guarding you. And now I want you to picture beautiful, beautiful pink light, the pink love light in your auric field. It's right outside the green. And it's very, very bright. And it's so pink. It's just the most beautiful hue of pink that you could ever imagine. And it feels very alive and loving. And it makes you smile just to look at it. It's so pink. It's just the perfect pink. Pretty pink auric light all around you. And this is the light that's coming to you from your loved ones who've passed over to the other side, who their love just remains. This is all the good feelings that you had with them. This is all the positive connections. This is the purest connections that's beyond the personality, that goes to the place where their soul and your soul connect in a place of beautiful, pink, perfect love. Letting go of any way you may have thought they weren't perfect in life, but in the afterworld, in their spirit bodies, this perfect pink love of brightness, of lightness, of love. that there's nothing you have to do to deserve their love or attention, that it's just there, and they're just vibrating at this frequency around you of loving support. And some of us have many, many, many people on the other side of life. I'm one of those who's got many, many, many people on the other side of life. So just feel that love of your loved ones around your auric field, and feel how they're here to help, like guardians at the edge of your aura. And just let yourself breathe in that strength of the loving connection. Love never goes, it just changes form. And now on the very top of that auric field, of that bubble of light, remember we started with the white, and then the purple, and the golden, the silver, the green, the pink. I want you to put just a luminous, luminous white light on the very, very outside, so that you are in a bubble of light. Nothing but light can come to you, and nothing but light can be here. Feel every cell in your body energized, awake, enlightened, alive, functioning fully, fully in health, fully in well-being, fully in peace. We're just going to focus on this light. Allow yourself to dissolve into this light, to let all sense of who you are merge with the auric light that's around you, so that you and the light become one, that you are the white light, you are the purple light, the golden light, the silver light, the green light, the pink light, and the luminous white light. You are all of these. I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And when I count from 1 to 5, when I get to 5, one of these colors is going to light up. And that will be, you will receive a message from being on that level. It will either be the purple light of your guide, the green light of an ascended master teacher, the silver light of the archangels, the golden light of an ascended master teacher, silver light of the archangels, the green light, the angels of healing, or the pink light of love from a loved one, or the luminous light, the white light in your heart from your own divine higher self. So you don't have to make it happen. Just like when you come to a street light, you don't make the light go on. Just allow the light to light up. 1, feel your auric field, feel all those colors radiating. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now just see what color you're bathed in right now. And this isn't a thinking exercise. This is an intuitive exercise. Just allow that color to be there. Okay? And now, I'd like you to ask that energy, whatever color, plane of existence that is, what their message is for you right now. What is it that they want you to know? Why did they light up their color field in your auric field? And just ask in your heart. And then I want you to thank them for being here, watching over you, protecting you, holding you, keeping you safe, keeping you well, energizing you. And then when you're ready, I want you to open your eyes and look at the screen, and you see that there's a beautiful bridge crossing a river. And I want to see you watching yourself walk across that bridge with your light body all lit up, going from your regular life into the life now of your more expanded self, bringing your intuitive gifts more fully into your life, your inner vision awakened and alive, active, clear, and focused. So picture yourself walking across the bridge, ready to fully claim your psychic gifts, ready to work with all these other positive energies in a positive and powerful way. Feel yourself getting to the other side and smiling, because you're really ready for your life to be integrated with your intuitive self and your day-to-day self. So I want to go over a little bit of homework with you. Welcome back into your body. Feel where you're sitting on the chair. Feel the energy in your body. Feel how awakened and alive you feel. And I would like you to do this exercise where you scan a friend's aura with your hands. You're going to rub your hands together. You can close your eyes and feel the energy all around them. You can do this with your own aura as well, but it's a little harder. It's always easier to read somebody else's aura. And then you can work with the colored pencils and the body drawing, and you can color that in. Remember, you're feeling for density, holes, energy, heat, pictures, colors, and light. And you may get full messages just as you're doing it. And again, looking at another person's aura visually to scan for visual images. I want you to practice with the mirror. And we're going to get a little mirror to look into. Look at your own aura. And you can even look at your own aura a couple different times a day and see how it feels. Feel how you're feeling inside, then look at your aura, and then see if you can charge it up and clear it up a bit. And then look in the mirror again. And practice looking at the aura around the crown of trees up at the top. Everything has auras. It's not just, animate and inanimate objects all have auras. But live objects, it's usually a little easier to read them. So that's why I'm encouraging you to look at, you could look at animals, you could look at plants and trees, and of course other people is the best. And I would like you to memorize the banishing prayer. It doesn't have to be the exact one I gave you, but something along those lines where you're in a very commanding stance, and that you do this 3 times, and you do it every single day, so that by next week you have a really strong sense of clearing out negative energy. You can also use your grounding cord and your rose of protection that we talked about, both of those as well. You also all need to take a shower or get an Epsom salt. Do all those techniques for clearing your auric field. And you're also going to be practicing either dancing, Pilates, looking at your hand aura as well. We talked about that. Remember, you are responsible for keeping your psychic space clean. That's not up to anybody else. If you pick up people's energy, it's sort of like you have Velcro there. You don't have to. You can be like the water on a duck's back. It just goes off. You can have that same kind of energy with yourself. So that concludes class number 7. Next week, we are going to be doing clarifying messages through listening to your body, your mind, and your emotions. So this week, I want you to also work with the colors. Remember, we talked about the flowers and the vibrancy of the colors. So the way that you're going to feel the most progress is when you really do the homework exercises, when you actually go back through, listen to some of the slides, listen to some of the exercises, jot them down, and really practice them so that when you come back, you can feel what yellow feels. You can feel what red feels, and green and orange and all the different colors, okay? So do practice with those. And I do welcome your questions if you have questions between now and the next class. I'm always happy to answer those questions. And there was also some, let me just see if I have in here, sorry, something's shown up on my screen here. All right, I had a couple books I wanted to mention to you, but there's many different books about auras that you can look up yourself, and you can go online, and there's all kinds of information about auras online that you can do as well that will give you more in-depth information. So thank you all so much for being here. Have a beautiful week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Aloha.